You're in the middle of 20 minutes of news with Herb Weisbaum on Komo News 1000, FM 97.7.
It's 2:16 right now, so you go online from your computer or your smartphone and you know you're going to be inundated with ads. These ads are now so pervasive that some feel they've taken over the online experience. The Online Trust Alliance, a nonprofit think tank in Bellevue, just looked into this, wrote a white paper, and concluded that the advertising industry needs to do something about this before there's a meltdown. That's the term they used. I spoke to OTA's Executive Director Craig Spiezle about the key problems they found and some possible solutions.
Increasingly, ads are becoming more aggressive, in which are auto-playing music or video or sound that can be interrupted, and quite frankly, consumers find that very annoying at times. The second issue, which we've talked about in the past, is the privacy issues. Increasingly, the advertising supply chain or the industry is collecting more and more personal data of your online behavior and practices. Third, it's the security issues. Unfortunately, we're finding more and more of the ads that actually are malicious. They're being created by cyber criminals, and again, unknowingly to the user, when you visit the site or connect with your mobile device, it's trying to take control, put spyware, malware on your device. So those are the key areas that today that have been really creating this issue of consumer distrust and disdain, and more users are now blocking ads with third-party solutions.
Yeah, you found that more than 25% of the people who go online use some kind of ad blocking technology. That shows how frustrated people are with the situation.
Well, absolutely. You know, we've been working with many of the stakeholders and major publishers for several years, and it's been frustrating because a lot of these issues have been dismissed as minor or fringe edge issues where it's not much of an issue considering the big impact and the business issues. I think today this really represents consumers boycotting, in a sense, ads as we know it.
Well, you know, people have DVRs, and before that we had VHS machines that let us pass the commercials through when we watch our TV shows back. You can do the same kind of thing now with ad blockers on the web. The industry's got to sort of find a new model to make sure that there's a balance between doing what they need to do to pay the bills and keeping their readers happy.
Absolutely, and we think there are steps that can be done, but it's about willingness to make change.
So you said there are some suggestions you have. What are some of the suggestions you have for the industry?
Some of them are increased transparency and disclosure. Some of them are very simple. It's not allowing video and audio to play automatically and run if you're not on that site or that page. The other one is the security of the ads. It's putting the infrastructure in place to make sure the ads that are being served are not malicious. These are steps that can be taken today. There are best practices out there for the industries to embrace. And again, it does mean making change, but we think long-term it's the best thing not only for consumers, but equally as important for the innovation and vitality of the advertising industry.
You know, I've gone to several news sites recently where they say, oh, I see you have an ad blocker on. If you want to read our content, you got to turn the ad blocker off. That's the way some of these sites are trying to get around this.
Well, that's not necessarily bad from the advertising perspective because what they're really trying to communicate is a value exchange. And then the consumer can make that choice. So that's, again, we're seeing more of that. What we're concerned about is actually that there are anti-ad blockers being developed. So not only do they give you that message, some of them just disable it and then force the ads down you. And we think that's the wrong approach to go. I guess we come back to really saying, like in any business, understand your customer, the customer experience, and if you do it right, you'll have loyal customers over time.
Craig Spiezle is the Executive Director of the Online Trust Alliance based in Bellevue. Craig, thank you so much.
Thank you for your interest.